Being a car enthusiast in 2025 really sucks. And I'm not talking about electrification and the car industry. I'm talking about the car community. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another discussion video. Today we're talking about the insane amounts of toxicity in the automotive community on the internet. And by the internet, I mean, of course, social media. I'd imagine if you're like a lot of people, you use social media frequently. Nothing wrong with that. We all do. It's not really something to be proud of, but we do use social media. And ever since TikTok and kind of short form content and Instagram and blah blah, ever since all of that became kind of a lot more common among people, and a lot more people started using it, that also increased the amount of car enthusiasts, car enthusiasts in huge quotes, that think they know better than everybody else. And they continuously try to make weird, contrived statements and points, and they shame other car enthusiasts for liking certain things or owning different types of cars and street takeovers, which we'll get to, and I'm tired of it. I kind of avoided making this sort of video because normally this sort of content doesn't really show up in my feed all that much, and thank goodness most of the time it's all positive stuff. But sometimes there are those random comments here and there, and I just couldn't help it, and I wanted to make a video as somebody who feels as though the car community should respect everyone, and everyone should respect each other and each other's tastes, and what we like and what we don't like, and not be dicks about it. I know that sentence had absolutely no flow whatsoever, but you know what I mean. So, there's now a lot of people in the automotive community, by people I mean oftentimes teenagers, people that are slightly younger than me, that are in this sort of thing for hype. They like cars because of the hype. I promise I'm not trying to make fun of anybody here or even, make assumptions based on whatever. I'm just saying that this is something that I've personally noticed myself, and I don't know if this is the case, I could be wrong, but generally there's a lot of people in the car community who are car enthusiasts because of hype and because of all of those random edits of Paul Walker and Vin Diesel from the Fast and the Furious movies that you see on TikTok, and they are very kind of, that's all they know, and all they know how to say is the best car in the world is a 1,000 horsepower Supra or a 1,200 horsepower Dodge Challenger Hellcat, or, I don't know, a 1,500 horsepower Audi R8 or Lamborghini Huracan with no rear bumper, that kind of thing. And sure, if that's the best car in the world for you, that's fine. More power to you. Again, different tastes. We like different things. We're all different humans and all that. But why do you feel the need to show up on a random person's video on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, where they express happiness for buying a certain type of car or owning a certain type of car, and immediately going to the comment section and typing, "This car sucks. My Supra with 1,200 horsepower and rolling anti-lag will kick your ass on the highway." Maybe that's the case, but who asked you? Nobody cares. Cars are meant to be enjoyed, and I don't think that when enthusiast cars became a thing, and when the first car enthusiasts started to develop, so to say, I don't think they had this in mind. I don't think they had in mind a bunch of people making fun of each other and insulting each other on the internet. Cars are meant to be enjoyed, and we should enjoy them for what they are. It's ethical on my part to be honest about my biases. I like weird cars, as I'm sure you're aware. I like Euro and I like muscle. I like Japanese cars as well. Make no mistake, I like everything. And I really do like the cars that I review as well. Obviously, I wouldn't buy one, most of them, because they're not my sort of thing. But I do like them, and I appreciate them for what they are. And I appreciate every car for what it is, except Teslas. The hate towards Teslas is 100% justified, and I'll be happy to join. But healthy car enthusiasm is a good thing, and I don't understand why we've, done our best to neglect healthy, good car enthusiasm. You know what makes me really happy? When I go on an Instagram video of somebody being very happy that they purchased a 90s Lexus LS, or that they purchased a Mark IV Supra with an automatic and a naturally aspirated engine. Yes, admittedly, it probably isn't as good. I say probably because I've never driven one, but it probably isn't as good as a 6-speed Supra Turbo, but if the person bought it to enjoy it for what it is, who are we to tell them that they should have bought a different one? If that's what they had available, if that's what the budget allowed, and this and that, who cares? There's also the Porsche community that no matter what you buy, used, new, it doesn't matter. No matter how you spec it, they always chime in and tell you, but you could have had this. That's something I've noticed as well. Like, I don't have a lot of specific examples here, but I'd imagine that there's a lot of, looking down on the 996 owners, because the 996 is like the hated, the unloved child of the Porsche 911 world. Even though the 996 looks like an awesome car and is one of the cheapest ways to get into 911 ownership these days, there's always going to be that one guy. You should have bought a 997 for a little bit more money. Should have bought a 993. Okay, the 993 is like 3 times more expensive, spec for spec. I just don't like what has become of the car community. There's too many TikTokers and people who are very closed-minded and are not willing to appreciate other builds. Not just builds, but cars in general. And there's also all the endless bullshit comments on the internet about new cars that are based on either false or old information that is no longer true. One particular example today, I noticed the new CEO of Vauxhall, which is, the name that which Opel is sold under in the UK. The new CEO wants to take the company back to the top 3 best-selling brands in the UK. And somebody in the comment section said that the future Opel model, it was something like this: the future Opel models will be Chinese garbage, even though Opel and Stellantis and the powertrains that power most Opel vehicles nowadays have absolutely nothing to do with freaking China. So, are we calling it Chinese because the general sentiment is that Chinese equals garbage, which I'm sure you're aware some of you are aware is no longer the case in the slightest? There's so much hate surrounding new cars, and honestly I think some of it is like a deliberate smear campaign. Not saying that new cars don't have their own issues, and I'm not saying that those issues that people talk about on the internet are not inherently impossible. They might happen to you as well, God forbid. They might happen to somebody else. But signing off completely on a car brand because of issues they've had in the past, or because of a specific case that affected 2 cars across a global market, is a bunch of bull. Now, admittedly, some car brands cannot seem to escape their quality issues. Like Jeep, for example. Jeep, I mean the stuff they sell in the US, because the European stuff, from what I've seen, is fine. The Avenger, I haven't seen anyone report any really big issues with them, or any issues at all for that matter. But I'm talking about the Wrangler and the Wagoneer and the Grand Cherokee and Dodge products and different things like that. They can't seem to shake their quality control issues. And I will admit some of the jokes are funny. The racist Hellcat jokes are not funny, but some of the quality control issues about Jeeps are sometimes funny. And when the joke doesn't go too far, and when it's not the only thing anyone ever talks about, like the goddamn Mustang crashing into crowds joke. I mean, okay, in 2015 and 16, when that whole meme became a thing, it was really funny. I was 13 or 14 at the time. It was the funniest thing ever. I remember me and my friends, my internet friends, used to laugh our asses off at Mustangs plowing into crowds at car meets. And it's still kind of funny today, but making fun of Mustang owners because they're gonna hit crowds or whatever, like, yeah, it's cool, I guess, to do it once and everyone will have a laugh, but being the only thing you ever talk about when somebody mentions a Mustang, it's kind of getting annoying now. And there's so much more toxic car enthusiasm on the internet that I genuinely don't understand. Like, when did we become this toxic? If you're like me, if you're my age, or if you follow along with cars like I do, you probably grew up watching That Dude in Blue videos. And That Dude in Blue painted a fantastic picture of what the car community is like. And he made us all believe that it's very healthy and everyone's accepting of everyone else. And everyone wants to get along with everyone, and everyone expects everyone else's builds and things like that. I remember watching David's videos when I was like 12 or 13, and it was just like a huge dream, like, damn, going to Cars and Coffee and instantly making a friend because you knew what Plasti Dip is. Sounds like the time of my life. That was a decade ago. And I don't know what happened now. Every sort of taste in modifications and taste in cars is wrong, according to some people. Somebody will buy a Mustang, and people will say, why didn't you get a Camaro? Because I didn't want a Camaro, and different things like that. So I don't know what all of this toxicity in the car community is, but I am tired of it. So I urge my fellow car enthusiasts to be more accepting of things and to respect other people's tastes and what they want to do with their car and the type of cars they want to look at and the type of car that they need for their specific, lifestyle and different things like that. I respect everything, every type of car, and I appreciate every type of car except Teslas, but I personally believe that we can do a lot better as car enthusiasts, and we can be a lot more accepting of both old and new car enthusiasts and old and new cars. But we don't accept... Okay, you get it. We can do a lot better, and we can also stop with the goddamn street takeovers, because all that does is endanger the public, and nobody thinks you're cool, they think you're an idiot. Whew. Okay, that felt good to get that off my chest. Thank you everyone for watching this video and listening to me rant. Let me know what you think of this whole thing in the comments below. Follow along with the community tab and for updates on upcoming videos, and be sure to follow me on Blue Sky. There will be a link in the description as always, and I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.